Hi everyone, welcome back to Cloud9 Intuitive. I am here to do a collective reading for what I believe is the most important astrological transit of this year, of last year, of the past few years, which is Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius. This transit is taking place on January 20th, and Pluto will be in the sign of Aquarius until September. It'll retrograde briefly before it re-enters Aquarius on November 19th, I believe, and it will be in the sign of Aquarius until 2043. So for 20 years, we will have Pluto moving through the sign of Aquarius. Why is that important? Well, quite simply, Pluto is the planet of transformation. Pluto is responsible for catalyzing major shifts, major collective shifts, because it's a generational planet. It takes a really long time for Pluto to have its orbit, and so it affects basically a very wide expanse of time, a generation, so to speak, right? The last time Pluto moved signs was in 2008 when it entered the sign of Capricorn. And if we look back on 2008, just in terms of like news, there was a lot of upheaval and a lot of turmoil in banking. There was the banking crisis, there was the housing market collapse, and a lot of chaos and around values systems, and quite literally our value systems like money, right? But then also like what we value as a collective, or what we uphold as collective values. For example, the quote unquote American dream of owning a home and, with the white picket fence and things like that. A lot of those value systems sort of got broken down as Pluto entered into Capricorn in 2008. And we have been sort of unraveling some systems and rethinking a lot of our structures over the past 15 years. And now we approach this new critical point of Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign that is very interested in rebellion, the collective good, how we need to make massive changes and massive shifts for the collective good. Aquarius is not scared or shy of shaking shit up. And I think as we sort of settle into this transit, I don't know if we'll ever settle into this transit because it feels like there's going to be so much going on in terms of technology on the political spectrum, right? We're going to see a lot of things popping up around AI technology, and how we're using it, whether we're using it responsibly, whether we're using it for the collective good, and if that's even possible. Expect more of those conversations, expect more pushback, expect a lot of confusion around it to start as well. There'll be more conversations about currency, and how we can operate to serve people globally, to make sure that everybody has what they need, and that everybody is able to function within global currency systems, and people aren't really shut out. Aquarius is about bringing people together. It's about how we connect, and so we will be seeing a lot of shifts and changes, how we connect and also how we serve each other. And so expect there to be a lot of shakeups, a lot of changes, and the need to really be open um, be open to the revolution, as they say. Be open to the revolution, and look for ways that it can serve your own personal evolution, and then the way that you can also serve the collective as we sort of navigate the new lay of the land that's being revealed to us. So I want to do a short reading. I've got a bunch of decks of cards in front of me. We're going to see where this goes. I'm going to start with the Gateway of Light activation, because I feel like this Plutonian energy, Pluto is akin to the god of war, Hades, and Pluto also rules death, and we will truly see a dying regime. I mean, we're already seeing it, right? A dying regime. They just told me, they just sent to me, it's the Walking Dead, right? A lot of fixtures that have been in place for a long time they're already gone. Like they're already dead, but they just haven't been removed, and so this Pluto moving into Aquarius is going to help to remove those carcasses. I'm just going to give it how they're giving it to me. They're going to help to remove those carcasses out of the way, out of the pathway of progression, right? Like I talked about currency, Pluto also deals with wealth and power. And we will start to see the redistribution of those things as Aquarius is really concerned with the good of humanity. Okay. Stargate heart chakra opening, unlocking, generosity. Like I said, making sure that everybody has enough. By any means necessary, making sure that everyone has enough. And then you have the halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. I just got that people are going to be very quickly learning karmic lessons, reaping karma as we enter into this transition. They said within 3 weeks we will start to really see the fallout of it will be made clear to us as a collective exactly what is being dismantled, what is being unraveled, which carcasses are being removed. And then it's up to us as a collective to figure out how we can sort of, use the wisdom and the lessons that we have all garnered through our awakenings, because I think there's these ongoing awakenings happening, to bring some more heart into the situation. And then you have Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, and living with grace. This is we're getting a real opportunity to be of service to each other. So I want to encourage all of you who are watching this to think about the ways that you can and want to use your gifts in service of the collective. Whether that is, whatever the gift, whatever the talent. So maybe you're a writer, but or maybe you're good at lifting things. You know what I mean? So say you're good at lifting things and you're like the number one mover. Maybe you focus your attention on helping single parents who need to move their homes, and you run a service that specifically reaches out to them. You know what I mean? A nonprofit that helps people move from one place to another. I don't know, but it's like figure out how you can use your gifts in service, whatever those gifts are. I think a lot of times we get really focused in on being creatives and things like that, but not everybody is a creative, not everybody is an artist, not like that's just not the case, right? And so whatever it is that you do well, maybe it's math, maybe you're really good at technology, maybe you code, maybe you program AI and that's something that you're really interested in, and maybe you can use your gifts and talents to make sure that it's used responsibly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like help companies to figure out how to use technology responsibly or something like that. So there's all these ways that we can use our gifts, embracing sensitivity and getting a lot of this brashness that we've been dealing with for the past, I don't know, 200 and something years. Last time I think it's like 224 years or something, the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius, something wild like that. But we've been dealing with a lot of brashness since that time, and we're getting a chance to really heal through that and really show that we have learned some lessons, that we've worked through some karma in order to sort of elevate the consciousness. There are more awakened souls now than ever before. I'm sure there are more awakened souls now on Earth than ever before. It's very exciting. So imagine the power that we'll have. I'll take those. You have the law of rhythm. The universe is guiding you. Go with the flow. See this? I'm looking at this, these pillars, these columns. These are coming down. These structures are coming down because they're too rigid. The structures are too rigid, so they're being removed. Anything that feels rigid is being removed. Aquarius needs to be free. Aquarius energy is free energy. You cannot put Aquarius in a cage. You can't. Happy birthday to my fellow Aquariuses, by the way, but you cannot put Aquarius in a cage. It won't hold up. It won't hold up. And so it's being removed. The cages, the rigidity is being removed here. Opening you up, opening us all up so that we can honor the guidance that we're receiving, so that we can act on the guidance that we're receiving, and it doesn't feel like, well, there's all these restrictions in the way. I can't do that because this is how I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to do this first and this first and this first. We know now that a lot of those structures, those processes, those procedures that have been set up and passed down from generation to generation number one, they're responses to generational curses, and number two, they don't work in the frequency that we exist in now as awakened souls, as awakened beings on this earth here right now. And so then we have the law of giving and receiving. Give away a material belonging that you love to someone, right? It's this energy of making sure that everyone has enough, that everyone is able to achieve according to their God-given potential. You know what I'm saying? We're all given certain gifts. We're not all given the same opportunities to maximize those gifts. And I think for those of us who have been granted those opportunities, or have maybe not been granted those opportunities, but granted the gift of insight, right? How can we use those gifts, use those opportunities to open up more, to expand more, to offer more out into the world? There's enough, but it's just not evenly distributed. Pluto in Aquarius is going to make sure that that the bounty is evenly distributed. Then you have the law of manifestation. Let go of trying to control life and allow miracles. A lot of the blockages for progress, for collective progress, for individual progress, have been because of measures of control that have been put in place to to prevent a collective awakening that would question the power structures that exist, right? So a lot of there have been a lot of restrictions to being able to manifest the life that we want. We all talk about this. We all talk about we want, peace all around the world. We want world peace. We talk about how, we want clean water. We want these things. And there's always been this resistance to things that feel very, that feel like they should be natural, that feel like they should be organic, that feel like we should be able to enjoy the beautiful, everyone should be able to enjoy the beautiful, bountiful resources that God has provided to us. But because there are entities that would like to retain outdated power structures, there have been restrictions in place, there have been blockages in place, there have been impassable checkpoints put in place. All of those things are being removed. All of those things are being removed here. Let's see what the ancestors have to say quickly. Pluto in Aquarius transit. What's interesting too is almost right after Pluto moves into Aquarius on the 20th, we have a full moon in Leo on the 25th. It's going to be very revelatory, and I'll be here to talk about it then. But yeah, very revelatory. If you want to make sure that you don't miss it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, especially if I resonate with you. I'm also going to do an extended for this reading over on Patreon. Links in the description box below. We'll go sign by sign, get a message for every sign of what you need to know for the Pluto and Aquarius transit. And we have the Air Guardian, Aquarius, an air sign. Air Guardian, shift your perception. It's going to be the number one thing that you're required to do is shift your perception, because a lot of our perceptions have been shaped around limitations that were designed for other people, other entities, other forces to retain their power. We have to shift our perspective, take our own power back, reclaim our sovereignty, and then see what we can create from there, right? Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. There it is, make plans and focus. I think as we start to make plans on how we're going to utilize our gifts, again, just the very act of recognizing the gift, of intending to use the gift, and then making a plan of how to use the gift, just that part. You haven't even actually used the gift yet, right? But just that part expands the consciousness. People coming into the awareness of their power, of what they are actually able to do, not within the confines of what has been quote unquote provided to them, right? But when you consider a limitless landscape, and people open up to that, then we really start to expand, and we make space for people to actually utilize those gifts, not just think about them. That's too many. Okay, one more, please. There it is. Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. You want to make sure that you're staying protective here, that you are not holding other people's karma for them. This is not a time to do that. This is a time to say, hey, you know what? Pluto, universe, God, do what you need to do in order to create a landscape where we can create some sort of balance, right? But you don't have to hold anybody. You can't save anybody from their karma here. You can't save anyone from their karma here. This is very much let the chips fall where they may, but stay aware, stay focused. so that you don't get lost in the sauce here. You don't want to get lost in the sauce of the drama, because there's going to be a lot of drama. A lot of drama is going to play out here. And you don't want to get swept up in the drama and forget that the focus is supposed to be on your gifts. The focus is supposed to be on how you show up in service. One more, please. Ooh, okay, I'll take both. This is cacao. Mama Cacao and Rhodonite. Heart opening. You have 2 cards of heart opening. Heart chakra opening and heart opening. Heightened sensitivity, unifying, and high on love. Heightened sensitivity. And this is another card said that. Embracing sensitivity here. We're allowed to have feelings. We're allowed to be emotional. This is Pluto. This Pluto in Aquarius energy is really going to do wonders to help us heal the wounded masculine energy that has been, I'm just keep it funky. That's been holding us down and keeping us back. We're healing through that. And we all have masculine and feminine energies. But right now we're healing through a wounded masculine that says that we have to eat our feelings, that we have to like suck it up and quote unquote be a man. Being a man is going to look very different as we move through the quote unquote being a man, right? As we move through the next 20 years, right? Our concepts, our concepts of gender expression are sort of being exploded, right? But I think that we'll find that the way that people are sort of living out their masculine and feminine energies look a lot different, a lot more balance coming in. What are these cards here? We have Crystal Grid, create with intent. Make plans and focus, and then create with intent. Is what I'm saying. Intending to use those gifts, and then planning to recognize the gifts, intend to use the gifts, plan on how you want to use the gifts, and then you've opened up, just by doing that, you've opened up a landscape where you can then utilize those gifts. Made yourself available to receive the opportunities that the universe desperately needs us to be open to receive, so that we can sort of engage in the process of transformation, engage in the transition from the cages, the rigidity, the limits, into the open expanse of everything that we can be, that we've sort of been blinded to. Then you have Anandalite and Lemon Balm. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but integrating energies, awakening and transitioning. There it is, awakening and transitioning. And I just said there are more awakened people now than ever before. Okay. Do I want to, let's just see. We'll do 3 tarot cards and then we'll wrap it up. We'll do a mystical shaman to wrap it up. So let's just get 3 cards from the Guardian of the Night Tarot. We are dying to an old way of being. And for some it will feel very painful, because it means that they have to, they might be giving up some comforts that they've gotten really used to. But for others, it means giving up some discomforts that you've gotten really used to. 3 cards, please. 1. Ooh, there's 2. Yep. 1 more. 3. Thank you. Oh my goodness. This is good. We have the Hanged Man. Shift in perspective. That's what I'm saying. The perspective is shifting. That's the most important thing that we can do for ourselves right now in this moment, is allow our perspectives to shift. Stay open to the shift. You're not going to be able to accomplish your goals in the same traditional ways that you have been used to having to chop wood to accomplish the goals. It's not going to work the same way. It's just not going to work the same way. Manifestation is going to look a lot different. You have the Magician here. What is that? Didn't we have another manifestation card that came out? I don't remember. But I feel like there was another card about manifestation that came out. But, oh yeah. Where'd it go? Here it is. Thank you. The Magician, the law of manifestation. Let go of trying to control things and allow miracles. All you need to know is what the tools that you have at your disposal. You just need to know that you have these tools at your disposal, and your most important tool is your personal power, your sovereignty. That's your most important tool right now, as we sort of like, it will change, it will evolve over time. What you need in order to function in the new frequency that's being offered to us, it will change, it will evolve, right? But right now, what you need is openness to a new way of seeing the world, a new way of seeing the world, and not one that really just accepts what is or what has been at face value. Aquarius doesn't see anything, take anything for face value. Because that's how you get tripped up. Aquarius, look, if there's one thing an Aquarius is going to do, it's dig around for some answers. It's going to get to the truth. This is the energy about, this is when we get to the truth. Because if you go back all these decades, there's all these falsehoods that we have clung to and added on to for the past 300 years, right? At least in the United States, as far as I know. I mean, it's okay. You can go back further than that. I don't know, right? But there's all of these falsehoods, all of these illusions that we've been building on and building on. Pluto in Aquarius says, we're getting to the truth. We are getting to the truth right now. So how can we be open to that truth? How can we be open to that truth? And then use that truth as a point of empowerment, not as like a springboard for fear. That's not the point. That's not the point. We didn't go through all of that, all of the trouble of awakening our souls and our consciousness. We did not go through all of that to get scared now. To be shocked by the real truth because it's really going to come out. We didn't go through all of that to get scared now. The Chariot card. It's about success. It's about moving forward. It's about moving past the obstacles. Getting around the danger. Getting away from the danger. But doing it in your own power. Not out of fear. The Emperor or the Empress does not get into the Chariot because they're afraid and they're running away from something. They're not, the Chariot's not running away. The Chariot's moving toward a more successful, more victorious experience where we feel like everyone has an opportunity to win. And that's not just a platitude. That's something that we're all working to make sure happens. All right, let's get a mystical shaman to wrap it up. And then we're going to go over to Patreon and we'll go sign by sign. Please drop me a comment or hit the thumbs up if you resonated with this reading. Do all the things. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And of course, join us over on Patreon. You'll get this reading all access if you become a patron, but it'll also be available for purchase in the Patreon shop. Links for all of that's going to be in the description box below. Oh, hello, the coyote. The coyote. So this is sometimes it looks worse before it looks better. Sometimes the way that they're showing it to me, it's like some things are going to be revealed, and they're going to be like, and people will be like, I should have figured that out this long ago. Like, if you think back, it's like nothing new. Like, if you think back, you're like, yeah, I could have put all that together. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like all the pieces are now like making more sense because there's more truth. The truth is being illuminated here. So the pieces are making sense, and people are going to be having these aha moments about how they have been limited or limiting themselves. Let's see. It says the coyote is the symbol of the sacred trickster, the one who provides detours for growth and understanding by ensuring that things don't go as planned. The coyote brings the energy of the divine deception to set you free from the shackles of that which does not serve you. Sometimes it appears that you will get everything you want, only to find that coyote brings you the opposite of what you hoped for. The lessons offered by coyote may at first appear confusing, but they are most sacred and always for your highest good. If coyote calls to you, this is a time to pay special attention to detours and disappointment, as they are true tests of faith. You have set your intentions and turned them over to the Great Spirit, yet you may find yourself lost and confused when it appears you are being led off course, off the path leading to your most cherished dreams and desires. Remember this. The coyote is a sacred trickster and may be leading you into challenges to ensure that you are ready to handle what you've set in motion. All of what we've gone through the past 15 years, literally the past 15 years, which have been, the shift in collective consciousness, how we think about money, how we think about material, how we think about family, how we think about the size of the world. Like, everything has changed. Everything has shifted. How we think about interacting with each other on a human level. Everything has changed in the last 15 years. And it's a pretty dark time. I'm not even going to hold you. It was a pretty dark time. But perhaps there were lessons that we needed to accumulate during that dark time. In fact, I know there were lessons that we needed to accumulate during that dark time. For example, and this is just one of them, when people stop taxing the earth, it rejuvenates itself. Isn't that amazing how Mother Earth came back to life during the pandemic, right? Wasn't it amazing? Wasn't it beautiful? People were in awe of how beautiful and lush she could get, right? Because we weren't taxing her, right? That's something that we learned, that we needed to learn so that we can move forward and really have access and maximize this beautiful blessing that we've been given. Okay, remember this. Coyote is a sacred trickster and may be leading you into challenges to ensure that you are ready to handle what you set in motion. Great growth and understanding come to you when Coyote calls your name. Are you being seduced by what you think you desire? Could it be that the more superficial, sparkly, shiny aspects of your ambition led you in this moment? Perhaps you feel that in order to get what you desire, you have to compromise yourself, control others, or manipulate situations to ensure your goal is met. That's all old regime. That's all old regime thinking that we're being released from here. The coyote howls in the shadows to remind you that this may be a lesson too painful to learn. It has been a very painful lesson. We have all endured some very painful lessons over the past 15 years. How can we take those lessons? How can we grow through those lessons? How can we utilize this revolutionary energy that we are being afforded to create something that's completely different? Beware the shallow waters right now. Something or someone might pretend to be deep, but that doesn't make them so, no matter how seductive their superficial traits and how beautiful or sparkly they appear. All that glitters there will not turn up gold, no matter how many wishes you make to change that. Listen, no matter how much the carcasses want to hold on, they're being removed. There's nothing that they can do to hold on to the power structures as they exist. So open up to the change and prepare yourself. Acknowledge your gifts. How do you intend to use them? What's the plan? Okay? All right. That's the message that I have. I really hope that it resonated with some people out there. We're going to go over to Patreon. We're going to go sign by sign through for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node signs. And that's all I got. I'm sending you so much love, so much peace, so many blessings. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.